Brits love the lockdown. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we're going to have a look at an article which is discussing Brits loving the lockdown. Significant proportion of Brits say they have enjoyed lockdown, a new poll found. Now let's have a look at this article that's discussing this, because you can instantly, the image here we see, a police officer with a German Shepherd and images of an authoritarian police state stomping down on people, and you're thinking, how could people actually love this? How dare they? How's it possible? But I thought about that, and I think I can see why, honestly. I think I can see why. So, Brits love the lockdown. More lockdown. More than 60% say they'd liked it. So here we go. Did you love the lockdown? Strongly disliked. So 18 to 24-year-olds, 22% didn't like it. 29% disliked it. 27% neither liked or disliked. 14% liked it, or strongly, of 18-year-olds to 24-year-olds. 25 to 34s, only 25. 46% didn't like it. All the rest, or 28, didn't care. 15% liked or strongly liked. I've been thinking about it. We had a 3-day lockdown here recently here in Brisbane, and it hasn't really affected us that much, or me that much. It's affected Rachel much more because she takes the kids out to functions and events, organizing play dates, that type of thing. It's frustrating for my mother when she comes up from the Gold Coast to visit us. But for me, I work from home. If I don't go out, I save money. So it hasn't really affected me that much, to be quite honest. But I've shifted my entire business model and everything. Back, I used to, a couple of years ago, I'd be out networking every day, on the pavement, meeting people, trying to drum up work, have coffees. And I've just scaled all of that back, working from home now. A lot less cost. So I really haven't noticed it, to be honest. And I've got a viewer poll, and it's interesting to see what a lot of other people have said. I guess it depends on your lifestyle in some ways. So, the ones who disliked it the most were the 65 plus. 65 plus, 26% strongly disliked it, and 40% disliked it. So the age category of people that this is done for, they didn't like it. 26% didn't care. So the people who neither disliked or disliked would seem pretty average, about just over a quarter, edging up to 30%. Where you've got, a big chunk of people who liked it. More younger people. So the younger people liked it more than the older guys. What does that have to say? Interesting. Here's another poll, replying to the Sunday Times. Did you actually enjoy lockdown? 57% said no, but 42% said yes. Why are people saying that? I think we'll see. The lockdown was brilliant for me, says Alexandria, 30, a project manager from London. I feel like a bit of an idiot saying that because obviously the circumstances that brought it on were horrific, but life was simpler. Life was simpler. We're going to start to see a pattern emerging here, guys. So, Alex says lockdown gave her a break from back-to-back nights out and office life. I struggle with trying to please people, so I ended up taking on more than I should. I worry about what colleagues or friends are thinking about me. So she hasn't learned to say no. I saw an architect I know on another practice. She typed on LinkedIn that she was leaving this one firm she was at for like 25 years. And she asked advice on what to do going to another firm. And someone wrote there, just agree to everything and you'll be part of the team no time. Now, I've been watching too much of this American YouTuber Flukes who just tears apart bloody office cringe. And I thought someone was making a pathetic joke at it. But everyone's liking, going, yeah, exactly, that's it. So you can see why I work alone. That's probably the worst thing to do. You want to establish boundaries, and you want to set yourself as the position of what you will do and you won't, so people won't take advantage of you. But that doesn't fly on LinkedIn. Anyway, so I can see you've got to learn to say no sometimes in an office, guys, in a work environment. So And about work from home, millions of workers are now able to work from home for at least part of a week. A prospect that seemed impossible at many businesses a year ago, honestly. And they've got the image here of someone sitting in bed. Working from home, it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of distractions and waste and work. And the biggest thing is the commute. We used to have an office, guys, a little retail shop. The last office we had out of the house. And even that commute there was half an hour each way a day. That was an hour a day of just wasted time. I was talking to a friend, and his wife was really happy with the lockdown because she had to take her son to therapy or different things. And that all changed to being on Zoom calls. She could all set it up at home. It all worked really well. Her quality of life improved because she didn't have to drive around like a nutter. Just think how much time you waste just driving. Sure, you can listen to lectures and YouTube, but it's not quite the same. You can do that at home too while you're working. According to another survey, 34% of the workforce say they are worried about returning to normal working arrangements after the lockdown. I've got the guy there in the pajamas. I mean, that is the danger of working from home. You can let yourself go. I used to wear a suit every day with a pocket square. I don't do that anymore, guys. But yeah, you tend to not worry about things. And yes, I am wearing pants at my standing desk while I'm recording, okay? People always ask. So, are you dreading returning to the office? 59.7%. Now, is the issue that they're actually loving the lockdown, or they got the change? Change is as good as a holiday. Or, the quality of life has improved. They don't want to do the commute. They don't want to work. They don't want to get back into the good old rat race. And that's what I think we're seeing here. I mentioned it before. For some people, this is the first opportunity they've ever had to step away from the treadmill, to step off. Often, if you're working, particularly as a young professional, you don't take holidays. You don't take time off. You work, build your career. The sad thing is that life goes by some people. They miss out the most important things. So, Dr. Catherine Young, a lecturer at the Institute of Psychiatric Psychology and Neuroscience at King's College London, has some advice on how to reintegrate yourself into life after lockdown. First, go at your own pace. Not everyone will want to jump back into going to the pub again 3 nights a week. You may not be ready to do a full day of socializing straight away, Dr. Young says. It's probably best if you don't go to the pub 3 nights a week. I mean, it can add up. Wasting a lot of money. So, I thought we'd have a look at some of the comments people left there on the Twitter thread here. So, Tim Chapman. I think it's been brilliant. Even if we don't need to bring lockdown back again to control infections, I think we should have a 3-week lockdown once a year, just so we can have a period for reflection and spend time with loved ones. See, this is the thing. It's a lot of people. This has been the first time they've got off the rat race. I really think that's what it is. It's like a holiday. You still work from home, but it's not the same. You're not dealing with the office politics, with the BS. You're not dealing with the commute. I wonder how many people are going to make a career change because of this, who've discovered another opportunity. Loved it. Took up painting, drawing, and writing again. Spent a lot of time making music, doing courses, learning, reading, improving. Better mental health, better sleep. But since the return to work order, I've become a shell again. Experience work from home, working, and forlorn. So, maybe this is a insight into what life could be, if you could find a different way of doing it. I've experienced that myself. From when we were, when I had the office, when I had all the staff, I'd have to go out there to bring in work just simply to keep the team going, let alone making a profit. I started this YouTube 4 years ago when I was still working in the office there. If you go right back to the early videos, you can see that. Now, well, my costs are so low. For every job, I'll make a profit. And I don't need to take jobs I don't want to, just to bring them in to keep the team going. And, it gives me time to spend with the kids, to build a YouTube channel, to work on the house ever so slowly and to be a lot less stressed. It's funny that, isn't it? But, you know, honestly, if we had a big project that fell through, so I had to, you know, that was my wake-up call where I got to step back. It was about, you know, a year, nearly a year's worth of revenue on one job just disappeared. These things happen sometimes, so that was my wake-up call to step back and reevaluate everything. Worked out pretty well, and that's what I'm thinking. A lot of people will see here. I think this is not. They love the jackboot copper telling them what to do and wearing masks. They love the fact that they got to step away from the rat race and realize, you know what? Maybe there's a better way. Maybe I'm being too naive. It is early when I'm recording this. So, Bev, I've loved being in lockdown. That's because I'm a home bird. I never get fed up. I have hobbies. I hate having to get dressed to go out. I love living in my PJs and I'm happy. Well, I mean, this is the thing, you know. We've got a household of 9 people. We've got all the kids. I've got my wife, sister-in-law living with us, father-in-law he's, you know, fled away now. Managed to get interstate between lockdowns. But we've got a big household here, so, you know, even when we're in lockdown, it's not like we don't have socializing. So there's some people that prefer living at home. So I've worked from home during lockdown and had office days too. The fact is, it can now be done, so not everyone will accept you must go into work to actually work. Those that can't work from home have either enjoyed it or are bored with it. Yeah. Yes, here's a good one, and I think a lot of people can relate to this. Yes, less idiots on the road for me when commuting to work, and more reasons to keep distance from people. Pretty funny how I haven't had a cold in over a year now, eh? Well, and Mr. Zing, the 1/3 of people voting yes must be the privileged few who have had 80 to 100% of their incomes protected at great expense to the taxpayer and future generations. Make them stop all their income like many have been forced to and see how quickly they change their tune. And that's right there. Because not everyone has the privilege of being able to work from home. Not all jobs are suited to that. And that would change your prospect, your outlook entirely. If you're working from home, you don't have a loss of income, you just see all the benefits for it. And then, you know, it will start to manifest in businesses too, because then they can save money on their rent. For some people, it would have been a nightmare, simply because of the stress, not bringing money in. Hannah wrote, the people who voted yes were most likely paid to stay home on 80% forlorn. Again, the same thing. TikTok, lockdown has destroyed lives, livelihoods, mental health, families, and businesses. Those that enjoy that sort of thing need to take a serious look at what a selfish outlook on life they have. So this is the response that most people will have instinctively. Going, how, you know, look at all the impact this has had on the economy, the lives, the businesses this has destroyed. But I think it's more about people, really, that got off the rat race. I think that's what it really is. So I asked you all to have a viewer poll. What were the responses from the viewers of the channel? I'm going to have a shot of coffee. It won't update if you go do it right now because I'm pre-recording, but still, we'll pretend. Go quick, do it now. Morning coffees, guys. So, let's have a look. Did you enjoy the lockdown? 1,100 votes. 27% said yes. 54% said no, and 19% didn't have one. I think a big part of it too, probably the extent of the lockdown that you had. So let's bring this up here, and we'll look at some of the comments, guys, that you have. We'll sort by newest first. So Aussie Mum loved it. The quiet and the chance to do what I wanted. Also less traffic. Everything is better with less crowds around. Yeah, I can relate to that entirely. The traffic being one. Echo, echo. Yes, less being treated like a child sat at a school desk in the office. Yeah, that's the thing. Ian says it's house arrest. So you can see people are enjoying it because less traffic or working from home. That's being treated like an adult. I think a lot of businesses will change to bring working from home on board. I mean, how many people will take, I bet you, people will take a pay cut if they can avoid that commute. So, Queensland free of face nappies at 6 a.m. Yes, we call them face nappies. Yeah, and seeing kids wear them. Yeah, I wouldn't let my children wear them. I'm going to... No, you don't need to. It doesn't make a difference. Anyway, off topic. I mean, I guess that's part of lockdown too, but it's a little different. I can't imagine unless you've got a special interest in that type of thing. I'm sure there are clubs or things that cater to that. Okay, I work from home and fish for fun. Not so much has changed aside from being harassed for not wearing a mask. I didn't enjoy lockdown. I worked most of it, but I did enjoy the empty roads. Neville. Australian servicemen and women sacrificed their lives for this country for freedom, democracy and rights, and politicians trashed their sacrifice in 1 year. Bring on the next election. I'm encouraged that you've been politically activated by this. That's good to see. I'm hoping more and more people will become politically activated. You'll hear people say, why aren't people waking up? Why aren't they, you know? I really don't like that term. What you have to realize is most people are busy. Most people have got stuff on. And so a lot of people are politically apathetic. They don't want to deal with the politics. They don't want to deal with these idiots. They want to get on with their lives and have the politicians get out of their way. But the problem is they're starting to get into people's lives. So it's good to see people are becoming politically active. Catherine, I wouldn't say I enjoyed the lockdown or I hated it. It was tolerable. People panic buying made it quite difficult though. Biff, I'm fine with being alone, but hate politicians telling me what to do, especially ones with ears larger than his tiny IQ. So he doesn't mind, having to be alone, but didn't like the pollies. The word should have bothered people in Melbourne, and mostly just ignored it. Was great to have quiet roads. That's coming up often. People are enjoying the lack of traffic. What sort of question is that? Who is up for forced restrictions? From Sonia. Well, I think it's the people who got off the treadmill. Alex, I enjoyed working from home, not being forced at home by my government. See, this is the difference. I think a lot of people have experienced working from home, maybe for the first time. Maybe their businesses were forced to let them do it. There are fasts. It makes a little difference to me, but I feel for the businesses and people who are working. Voted yes, as I got JobKeeper and spent a lot of time in the garden and learning about the economy. But it was terrible. It was a terrible thing and sets a freaky precedent. Yes, Maximus, that's what I'm worried about as well. I'm worried about that there will be future calls for lockdowns for any old thing. That's what I'm really concerned about. No lockdowns in Northern Territory, and I hope we don't have one. I like lockdowns. I like locks. Lockdown. Thanks, Heise. Team Heise. No problem, Steve. Crest Cutter. I work from home the whole time with overtime. Sorry, I worked, not from home. I worked the whole time with overtime most of it. I just couldn't go fishing or hunting, but I still went to my grandfather's farm to get firewood and have a picnic with my family. It was a minor inconvenience, as I still did what I wanted, just couldn't do big trips. Darkly, I'm antisocial at the best of the time, so it had no effect on me other than reducing traffic when I was getting to work. Are we seeing a theme here, guys? How many of you hate the bloody commutes that you're doing? I mean, I'm here whinging about a 30-minute commute. It's a joke for some people, I know. When I was living down the Gold Coast as a student, I would commute up to Brisbane all the time to study and to work. That was a nightmare. No matter how early you went, you couldn't beat the tradies. They're always, the earlier you went, there were still people there. In the UK, I've worked throughout the lockdowns. Only change has been less people on the daily commute and zero public where I work. B Tiger was a relaxing time. I had doing things around the house, gardening, cleaning, and watching, and replying to YouTube clips. Great entertainment, better than TV, especially your channel, Heise. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Bloody Vix, who else would have enjoyed it? From Graham. My 90-year-old mum has had 2 operations and I couldn't visit her. That's really sad. That's the other side of it, guys. Nothing changed for Jordan, apart from the brief month where there's no traffic on the road in Sydney. That was fun. Nothing changed except less traffic. Seriously dumb question. Anyone with common sense knows it's stupid. Don't think Ryan gets what we're talking about, does he? Hope New South Wales gets one this winter. So let's look at the replies to that one, because that's you've got serious issues. People can't afford to be locked down. I mean, was it a troll? Come on, NA. Are you teasing people? What's likely going to happen anyway? Just brought it forward a bit. It worked. I mean, okay, there's... Yeah, the good thing about when people have discussions in the comments is every instance is an interaction with the channel, so it spreads the channel more, and that's how you get recommended channels. There's the thing, when you subscribe to one, ding the bell, that's just 2 interactions, but when you comment, when you like, when you dislike, each one of those are more interactions, so it's more likely you'll get those channels recommended on your YouTube feed. So that's why stuff that comes up is probably more related to what you've recently watched than what you're subscribed to. The more you know. I enjoyed it, but thought it was effed up thing to do to others. So there you go, everyone. There's the poll from our viewers. Now, let's have a discussion about some solutions, because this is a quote from Huxley that was originally, this is how they finished the original article that brought this to my attention from Zero Hedge. A really efficient totalitarian state would be one in which the all-powerful executive of political bosses and their army of managers control a population of slaves who do not have to be coerced because they love their servitude. And that's, that'll be what people will go to. If you dare say you liked it or got anything from it, you're just a slave to the political class. And I mean, people are going to be outraged, and they rightly should be, because the effectiveness of these interventions is questionable. You can find my video looking at a paper saying it's made no impact on my Odyssey channel. Like and subscribe to that one. But here's another argument that I've made. I think it's people escaping the rat race. I think it's people getting another perspective on their life. Happiness is just around the corner. Work harder. That's a lie. Happiness is just around the corner. Earn more money. That's a lie. Happiness is just around the corner. Buy more things. And it just repeats. And it repeats. If you think, if you're not happy and you think working hard is going to make you happy, I'm telling you it's not true. If you think money is going to be the solution to your problems, it's not. You can have a lot of money. I was talking to a mate, earns over $250,000 a year. And I said, mate, you're doing well. And he's saying, oh, I could be doing better. That's the problem, guys. If you could just keep chasing it. It's not the secret of happiness. Buying more things, definitely not. That's where the World Economic Forum, or the Davos, have it right. With you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. You don't need stuff to be happy. So guys, there we have it. Thank you all for watching this episode of Heise Says. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. If you're a fan of the channel and enjoy the content that I'm creating, there's a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Take care, guys. Have a great day. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.